Hello. Good morning. Did you call your moms today? It's Mother's Day. Call your moms. Call them if you got them. Because it's a Mother's Day. What up? What's happening? What's happening? Mother's Day dinner. Oh, 8-pound Boston butt on the smoker. Oh, Jesus. You must have like 15 people coming. 8-pound Boston butt. And ribs. Yeah, you got like 8 people coming at least. 9 people, something like that. Pretty wild. I had to buy a fucking riding mower and now I'm chopping down 4 acres. Yay. That sounds like ultimately it'll be fun though, right? Because the 4 acres is yours, maybe? I'm looking for some acreage myself. Honestly, I've reached the point where I feel like established houses and established neighborhoods, and now my eye is I'm building a ranch, bro. I'm gonna find a ranch. I'm gonna find a piece of land that can be improved, and I'm gonna start working on it year by year. When will your mom be visiting, and will she enjoy you on stream? Or join you on stream? Probably not. And I don't know, man. I don't know. My mom is very adverse to air travel, and it's sad because, to get from where my mom is to here is a 2-hour flight. I know it's longer than 2 hours, it's like you got to get to the airport all early and all that shit. But I mean, it's like not the worst flight in the world, and I've told mom, like, I'll pay. I'll fly you and my stepdad down, put you guys up here. You know what I mean? Bring your little dog, fly with him or her, and bring her, and she can run around the backyard with Dee, and like you guys can just come chill. And there's always an excuse. There's always a reason why not, Shit, man, I live 3 hours away from my mom, and she never. Well, it's something I was telling my dad when he was here to visit, and I didn't even realize it until he was already here for a couple of days. But I was like, nobody in my life, I don't think, on my side of the family has ever been like, hey, I want to come stay with you for a little bit. Ever. Like, and I've had my own pad since I was 22. I owned my first condo. And when I say my own pad, I mean, like, a place where I could have people. I owned a condo at 22, and then bought a house after that. And then, all throughout my life, I've, at the very worst, lived in a big apartment, you know what I mean? With an extra bedroom in it. And it's always me that goes to see others. I'm always the one, and I'm not trying to be salty about it, but I'm always the one that's expected to drop everything and go down to the airport and do all that bullshit and be away from my home so I can visit people and blah, blah, blah. I never get the privilege of having somebody come to my home and let me entertain them here. Let me take care of them here. Let's hang out and let's just talk. You know what I mean? Like that. That was a super neat thing to get to do with my dad. Yeah. I mean, on one hand, I get it. I'm the one that kind of like moved away from the region that my family kind of is centralized in. So, I don't expect people to come to me all the time, right? But I'm 45 years old. And my dad coming here was the first time in my life that somebody has come to stay with me for longer than like overnight, right? Like, pretty crazy. And it's like, my mom's getting up there in age, my stepdad's getting up there in age, and I would love for us to be able to have that. I feel like when I go visit them, I get that, which is fine. I'm fine being the one to do the visiting, but it would be nice every once in a fucking blue moon. Man, I got some fucking hard ass deja vu right now, bro. You ever got the deja? And I just fucking had a whole ass moment of deja vu looking at a little yellow leaf and saying all the words that I said. Seemed like a dream. My dad won't visit me because my mom is my neighbor and they divorced 12 years ago. Well, I mean, all right, like, I guess that's understandable. Some neutral ground or whatever, but they say that deja vu is you dying and being transported to another dimension where you lived. I mean, everything's still here. Everything's still here, bro. You want to go to barber? No. What are you smoking on? Not the vape, obviously. Oh, weed. It's Blue Dream. Is what I'm smoking today. I think, right? Yeah. Blue Dream. Hi, you little hippie. Hey, I'm a hippie, but I ain't little. I'm a big, tall hippie. That's fat. Big, tall, fat hippie. Get it fucking right, Cole. Fat hippies are rare. Nah, dude. You don't see enough hippies, bro. Fat, old, bearded hippies are a dime a dozen, bro. Like, you honestly don't get it. You've been watching too many movies where it's like, you know, dudes with long hair and two braids, and they're like, peace, man. Nah, dude, hippies are different now, dude. Most hippies are fat old men, you know, or fat old women. They were rare before the obesity epidemic. Yeah, maybe. I don't know about that either, but yeah, maybe. A question. If an individual makes 20 AI songs and claims it is self-made music, um, and hides that it's AI, is that plagiary? No. The answer to your question is actually in the question itself. If an individual makes, just stop right there. If an individual makes, read that 10 times and see if you get what I'm talking about. If an individual makes, makes. There you go. That's the key word. You're so rare, you remember Alexander the Great before he was great. Dude, your mama's so old, she had Moses's beeper number. What you think about that? What you think about that? Your mama's so old, God said, let there be light. And she said, hey, turn that off. I'm trying to get some sleep in here. Huh? The Prince of Macedon. Yo, mom, puss so swampy, Ducks Unlimited won't even touch it. What the fuck is Ducks Unlimited, bro? Yeah, see, that's not a great Yo Mama joke because it's not ubiquitous. A great Yo Mama joke can't have something in it that if people don't know about that something, they don't get the joke. A great Yo Mama joke has to be universally applicable, right? Your mama's so fat that when she sat on the rainbow, she made Skittles, right? There's not a person that speaks this language that's not gonna know what Skittles is. Okay? You see what I mean? You can't be like, this is like when your mom is so fat, it's like when Token Okonoshi in Reike Dugo 7789 Angel Battle, that manga that I like from Japan, you know, yeah, bro, that nobody's gonna get that, bro, except your nerdy friend. Yeah, see, a hunting brand. I'm not a hunter, bro. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm not gonna know. I'm not gonna know, bro. I'm not gonna be able to get it. Yeah, Sasuke's older brother, the Genjutsu. Exactly. Exactly that. Konnichiwa senpai, please notice me. I watch Asian cartoons. I'm a weeaboo. I live in my mom's house. I'm like 42. Yeah. I miss Papa Franco, man. I miss Papa Franco. We need him more than ever now, and he has forsaken us to become Joji, a mid pop star. Please, Papa Franco, come to us. To us, Papa Franco. You don't know what you've got till it's gone, you know? Yeah, 2015, 2016-ish is when that internet culture hit its peak. And we've been in a fucking precipitous decline since, bro. 2016, listen, tell me I'm wrong. The memes were dank. Am I wrong? The memes were dank, right? Not anymore, man. The memes now are just fucking so self-referential and post-ironic that, like, they don't make sense anymore. It's just a decline, man. I live in my mom's house. I'm like 42. Noises be like noises type meme. Yeah. So fucking self-referential and chock full of like millennial anti-humor and post-irony that they just don't. They're just not even fucking amusing anymore. Soy Jack, yeah, the Jacks ruined the meme world. The Jacks, dude. You know what I'm talking about? The Soy Jacks and all the different versions of the Soy Jack, right? Because every once in like 10 million memes, you might see a Soy Jack meme that actually makes you chuckle. Most of the time, it's just unfunny people taking a worn out, unfunny meme and reposting it for the fucking 10 millionth time to try and look clever. Like, that's Soy Jack's ruined memes. People used to have to be creative. Now they can just find a Soy Jack template and put some fucking Comic Sans on it, and they've made a meme. It just sucks, bro. It just sucks. What happened to the dank memes? You know? Yeah. The dude that made the Wojaks, primo memes. Everybody that stole the Wojak and turned it into what it is today, eh. Eh. Bold of you to assume it's actual people posting these memes. I mean, somebody's somewhere along the chain, it's a person, right? 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 The internet's not dead, right? Thought she took the train to Mars. She's out back counting stars. Thought she took the train to Mars. She's out back counting. That was a good song. That's a one-hit wonder band from the late 90s. Hum, Stars. Name of the band was Hum. Name of the song was Stars. It's actually a good song. Nobody ever talks about it. Rage memes. Oh, yeah. Rage faces. Yeah, the rage faces, man. Yeah, that was some 2015, 2016 memery right there. Rage faces, man. Bring back rage faces. Now we're on to something. Lay me. Lay me sees Paul's ego started streaming. Paul's ego in stream immediately. Lay me. Dude, let me. Le me. Le me sitting here smoking weed on my porch. Le me. How is the current economical situation treating you in your daily life? Trump's America. Yeah. I don't have any money tied up in the stock market. So my daily life has been impacted, by the raise in prices of everything. But I didn't lose anything in the kind of stock market shenanigans and fuckery because I have no significant money in the stock market. So, you know, it's hard to know at this age what is wisdom and what is avoidance. It's like, is at this age, I'm just like, you know what? I never played the stock market, not even once. And I've never been broke, not even once. Correlation or causation? I don't know. She's out back counting stars. As far as the market is concerned, anyway, I did get to see the May 9th victory parade the Russians held. Oh. Cool. Cool. A tense lull period is what you're saying? Yeah. Otherworldly. Let's see. Let's take a look at it. Russia. May Day Parade 2025.
Казачьего войска во главе с войсковым атаманом Александром Власовым. Более 600 тысяч казаков встали на битву с фашистскими захватчиками. На Красной площади в форме кавалеристов военных лет почетный эскорт президентского полка, службы коменданта Московского Кремля, Федеральной службы охраны Российской Федерации, гвардейские кавалерийские соединения участвовали во всех крупнейших сражениях. Освобождали Вену, Берлин.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Military parades are always kind of like iffy for me. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I get it. Okay, but I don't know. I don't like jingoism. I don't like that militarism and that nationalism that comes pouring out. And I don't like a bunch of guns and war things going by, missiles and fucking soldiers all done up holding guns. Like, fuck it, dude. I don't like that. I like that military worship, jingoistic shit. It's like the end result of all of that pompous pageantry is millions and millions of young people and old people in the dirt. People that could have, you know, changed the world. Or at the very least made a life for themselves in the dirt over nothing but squiggly lines on a map in the economic interests of big conglomerates of countries. So I don't really see a whole lot of human solidarity and a bunch of soldiers being forced to parade around standing next to a missile. Solidarity is something that's chosen, not enforced, right? I don't know. In due time, America's going to get its own military parade started. We already do it. It's just not that ostentatious, but we already do military parades for, you know, Independence Day and all of these things, right? It just never really is ostentatious and as authoritarian as what you'll see in, like, North Korea, China, Russia, right? We hide our power level here. Or at the very least, we do it in a more entertaining way. We just make crazy movies where we show off how badass our fighter jets and machine guns are, right? But we have our own pretty wild pageantry. I don't know if you've ever been to a military funeral. But that is a wild experience. Trump wants to spend millions on one what? They fly F-16s at every NASCAR event. Yeah. Oh, military parade. Got it. Yeah. And understand that from an anti-war perspective, the reverence for those lives that were sacrificed. Sure. I just think that, like, if I were killed in a horrible, bloody, and ultimately pointless and avoidable war, I don't know that I would want people to honor my memory by parading around military equipment and celebrating the strength of military, right? It's kind of like the Bill Hicks bit about how, when Jesus comes back, what makes you think he's going to want to see the cross? Like, what makes you think that's the symbol he wanted to give you for him? You know what I mean? Like, why can you pick something like a dove or something? I think Jesus is going to want to be reminded of being tortured to death on the cross. You know what I mean? It's that level of stuff. It's like, if you want to honor the dead soldiers that died, that, were either chose to bravely or foolhardy kind of way chose to be soldiers, or were ripped from their families and forced to be soldiers, right? It seems to me if you want to honor those people, you honor them by letting their legacy not be completely in vain, and being advocates for them and their families who suffered such a great loss, and oftentimes for nothing. Oftentimes to end up right where they began, you know? And that's the tragedy, and that's how you honor soldiers, in my opinion. You honor soldiers by speaking up for their families, speaking up for them and their legacy, and speaking up for the right that they had as a human being to start their own family, to have their own life, right? And to think about the pettiness that they died for in most cases. Like I said, squiggly lines on a map, minerals underneath some country's feet, global positioning of one superpower against another, right? I mean, those are the reasons why so many millions and millions and millions of people have died in modern war. And I don't think you honor them by reverently parading out missiles and flying jets overhead. I think that if you really wanted to honor the soldiery, you would, I don't know, man, Joan Baez it, man. How many roads must a man walk down before you can call him a man? How many seas must the white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? And how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? Do you like fish sticks? No. But apparently fish sticks were like one of my favorite things when I was a kid. I don't remember even eating fish sticks very well, but apparently I loved me some fish sticks when I was a kid. But now I couldn't even look at one, man. It makes me queasy. It maketh me queasy just to thinketh about it. Schnitzel? What's a schnitzels? You seem like the type of guy who would be into gathering. Well, I'm not into it now, but I was into it when I was a teenager. Does that count? live stream last night. Cool. I know what you streamed last summer. Nice backyard. Thanks. It is. It's it's beautiful. I'm a lucky guy. I'm a lucky guy. What can I say? I'm a lucky fucking guy. Actually, luck didn't really factor into it much, but that's the humble thing to say. Paul Sr. flew home yesterday after 10 days. Help me, it broke apart my insides. Help me, got no soul to sell. Help me, the only thing that works for me. Help me get away from myself. I'm not your plug. I'm not your plug. But if you know a plug, please share. I'm in a place, thankfully, where I don't need a plug. My plug is a shop down the road, okay? But I have had plugs in my life. And I think maintaining a plug might be a smart thing, even in a state like this. Even in a place where it's entirely legal, having you a plug can be a good thing, right? Always. I've extolled the virtues of having a guy who knows a guy that knows a guy, right? You never know, you know? You never know. You keep your options open in life. That's my advice. Don't close a door until you're sure you're not going to ever walk through it. You know what I mean? If you can leave a door ajar, why the fuck not, bro? What's the point? Leave it open a crack. You might be surprised what happens. Why do you need a plug if weed is legal? Bro, I gotta be honest with you, as a dude, it just makes me weep that question even had to be asked. And I gotta be honest with you, I can't explain it to you, bro. Because it would be, like, I would have to start at the literal ground floor of, like, I don't even know, bro. I don't know where I'd even start. But yes, I'm not trying to make fun of you, though. I hope you don't take it that way. I think it's a generational thing, man. That question answers itself. That question answers itself. But I can't, there's not like a fucking direct and clear answer as to why. It's kind of like, if you know, you know. And if you don't, I can't tell you, because it's not going to make no sense. What else comes with legality, Jake? What else comes with legalized taxed drugs? I think it's probably starting to unfold in your mind now, right? You're starting to get it. poison in the weed, mind control. I don't know about all that, bro. I'm not, look, dude, I'm not on that wacky shit. I'm just saying, economically speaking, there are reasons, right? Some state like Tennessee, the laws on how to sell weed legally are getting messed with to such a degree that shops might start closing. Sounds like Tennessee. Hence why I live and forever will live north of the Mason-Dixon line. Forever. Chemicals in the weed, turning the frogs gay. I can always trust that Paul will present fresh perspectives and meaningful conversation in a world so lacking in both. That's true. That is true. You've lived in the South. How stupid are Southerners? It ain't even about that, man. I could take an opportunity to dig at some Southerners. I didn't find Southerners to be stupid at all. In fact, I found Southerners to be the opposite, right? I found them to be like funny, gregarious, warm, always willing to open their home to me. You know what I mean? People were just kind and friendly and neighborly and smart, by and large, in the South. So it really, like, yeah, I could make a dig about how everybody was like, but it really wasn't like that, right? It wasn't about that. It's the politics, bro. It poisons everything down there. You know, a lot of what I just said would change utterly if my skin were black, right? My experience in a lot of the cities and towns that I lived in and traveled through in the South would have probably been a completely fucking different thing if nothing about my life was different other than I had more melanin. And when you live in an area like that, bro, you can't. The trick, I think, that a lot of liberal people that live down south is they learn to just ignore it. Well, I never was able to, man. I felt it like a big fog hanging in the air over there. And not just that. It's not just racial disharmony and division and bigotry and shit. You know, it's the way that the government interacts with those things. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but Louisiana, most of the big cities in Louisiana, and certainly most of the suburban cities in Louisiana, like things outside of the big city, they don't know what the fuck a fucking sidewalk is. You drive down a street, it's road, parking lot, road, house. There's no place, there's no easement in public land for pedestrians. People die on the road all the fucking time in Louisiana. Pedestrians, just like walking home from work. Some idiot just splatters them all over the road because they have no choice but to walk right next to the fucking road. It's gross, dude. That area is just not good. It's not a chill place. And so I don't live there, and I never will, you know? Everyone got their noses in everyone else's shit. I don't know. I think that's more indicative of like Midwestern kind of vibes than the South necessarily. That nosy neighbor, you know. Only place I'd live in the South, although it's kind of southwest, is Austin, Texas. Yeah, no, Austin, Texas is in the South. And it's not a bad place. Like, of all the places I lived in the South, Texas had the most. And of all the places I traveled in the South, that is also the case. You know what I mean? Texas feels like a civilized place. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like you're teleporting 80 years into the past when you drive into Texas, right? So, you know, I just don't ever want to live there because, you know, Texas has a lot of the same problems that I mentioned, just in maybe less egregious servings, because Texas is, like you said, kind of Southwest. I prefer my isolation. Yeah, I wouldn't do well communally living or whatever. I mean, I'd probably adapt to it, but no, I like privacy. My dream right now is a ranch. Okay, what about now? Can you hear me now? Good. Are we still muted? Back. Okay. Yeah. Phone call fucks up these streams. I mean, at least it doesn't stop them. So that's, you know. Yeah, but anyway, somebody said they enjoyed my dad's stories. Yeah. You know, the apple didn't fall far from the tree, I guess, when it comes to our desire to sit and tell a story. And you probably saw a very similar storytelling style in my dad. You know what I mean? Where it's, you know, descriptive. You know, I like to think that a lot of my storytelling proclivities come from him. And it was neat after all of these years to do what I did when I was little and just kind of sit near him and listen to him talk, you know. That was really cool. His recall was amazing. Sad that he thought he was boring. You guys, I was enthralled. No, I know. Like, that's why I told Dad. I think he felt better about that. And number two, he was, because I told him, I said, Daddy, you can stay as long as you want. There is no, because I told him straight up. I said, Dad, listen, you told me, and this was a while ago, that you thought it'd be interesting to do the show. You're invited. The guys would love to have you on. You can come whenever you want, and you don't have to start the show with us. I can bring you on a little later. You can stay as long as you want. You can be on camera or not, you know. And so I'm very protective of my family and all of that. So I'm going to do, here's what the shot is going to look like. We sat down, he was fine with it. He wanted to be on camera. You know, every time, you guys probably heard me, every time I was out here streaming and he woke up and came out or whatever, I always made sure I told him, you know, hey, we're on live stream, don't say nothing you wouldn't say to everybody, you know. Because I'm very protective of people's privacy and their right to not participate in my weird fucking job, right? But Dad was interested in it, and he really took to it. Like, I could tell when he first sat down, he looked at me like he was just, and I was like, oh, Dad doesn't like this. And I was like, oh, well, you know. But he sat there and was quiet for about 10 minutes, and then he started interjecting a little bit. And it wasn't like 10 minutes after that, he and I were just bullshitting away. You So it's a weird thing. I get, for me, it's something I've been doing since I was in my 20s. But for somebody that's never done a live stream before, it's got to be fucking crazy, right? Especially at his age. Missed out on the last name reveal, Paul. Did that get leaked or did you reveal it? Oh, my last name has been public knowledge since 2015. I just kind of started with the Drunken Peasants, and a guy named Atheist Rue, ism is unstoppable, was like in this back and forth battle with us or whatever, and he and I were battling on Twitter, and he started threatening to dox me. Basically, he was like, you know, somebody whose name was so easy to find shouldn't be so flippant with their mouth. I'm just saying, and I was like, oh, fuck this. And so I just posted it. I was just like, hey, my name's Paul Parkey. There you go. Because I didn't want, I'm working on the internet now. I'm not going to let power word real name, have any power over me. I got no shame in my game. There's my name, so. I mean, there's nothing I could do about it. It was one of those things, the reason I decided to just say it publicly and take away the power of it is because, well, number one, like I said, no shame in my game. You know what I mean? I welcome anybody to fucking look my name up, and I got no criminal history. I got nothing that not that it would be something to be ashamed of if I did, but I just don't, right? So that, number one. But number two, it's something that, if you're trying to make it a secret, people are going to hunt it even more, right? I was a public employee for years. My name is published in California and mandatory public information shit. There's just no way I was going to remain anonymous, and people will make it a thing. It's like here, I've yet to say openly where I live. And because of that, people are just, I mean, they're dying to know not just the state, but exactly where I live. They want to know what city I'm in. What is he near? And it's like, you know what I mean? If you don't tell somebody something, it just becomes a thing and eventually it's going to fucking come tumbling out, either accidentally or intentionally, or some fucking troll is going to figure it out. And there's just no point in letting people have power over it. What do you think they want to know that badly? Parasociality. It's like a certain degree of, this guy does a job that I find to be compelling, and maybe, I wish I could do, and I want to know more about him. I want to know what his fucking last name is. I want to know what his middle name is. I want to know where he lives. I want to know what state he's in. I want to know what kind of phone he's got. I want to know what kind of cigarettes he smokes. All that shit. And it's like, so it's a give and take thing, but yeah. No. Yeah, like I said, there was a dude, very trollish guy, that was threatening in a very roundabout way to leak it. And I was just like, well, fuck you, man. Public post. I just wasn't going to live for 5 or 6 years trying to deny that my last name was what it was, or pretend I wasn't this guy or that guy. I was just fucking retarded, man. It's like boring shit. you know? So, okay, here's my name, guys. Fucking pop your whoop. I think a lot of that's a reason too, Otello. I think a lot of people assume that a guy that does what I do for a living is hiding some seedy, dark past, right? And it's a narrative that's very pleasing, right? It's like the Brett Keane narrative. Brett Keane used his real name, people, and then told people what state he lived in and told people what city he lived in. People used that to petition the local court for a public information release on Brett. And they got his fucking domestic violence and his domestic violence against his mother and his this and his that, right? And they know he's on fucking SSI. All this stuff is public available info. It's just you got to know somebody's name, right? And I think the narrative is very appealing. Oh, I know this guy's real name. I'm gonna fucking pay $50 and do a name lookup website. Oh, look at this, dude. He's got fucking, they think they're gonna find some shit. Like, this guy says he's this, but he's really a 3-time convicted pedophile. It's like, I don't have any of that. So it's like, pop you up. And it just fizzles out. Like, when there's nothing to be done about, okay, when they look into it and they find nothing, right? I want to know which urinal Paul uses in the bathroom at the Olive Garden. Yeah, no, it does come to that. It does seem like it comes to that sometimes for some fucking people. It gets a little wild. But I think that there is this very pleasing narrative. It's like the rise and fall. People love to see a dude, a self-made guy, just start streaming and able to make a life out of it. And they also love to see that kind of awesome position ripped away from somebody because they were hiding a dark secret, you know. Oh, it turns out that somebody dropped a bunch of fucking DMs with Paul's ego talking to a minor, or fucking. I don't ever skis on anybody. My DMs would be the most boring shit you ever read. 99% of them are one way. They never get answered. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not that kind of guy. I'm not out there skeezing. I'm not out there living a secretive little life or whatever the fuck. I live my life kind of openly because I got nothing to be ashamed of. And things that like have happened to me that other people might be ashamed of, I've told everybody about. My embarrassing stories, times where I fucked up, times where I was, out of line or out of pocket. You know what I mean? I've never hidden that. I've always been very open about that because I always think it's a humanizing thing when a person can admit their faults and laugh at themselves, doesn't take themselves so seriously that they can't present themselves as a buffoon. That goes a long way with me, and so I try and be that way. The center of 3 urinals to assert dominance. I mean, that is the Chad move because it forces the really just bad choice, Like I was on the road and I stopped and I was charging my car and I was walking into a Walmart to piss. And as I'm almost to the bathroom, this little skibbity dressed all in like baseball clothes, looked like he was like, I don't know, 12 or something, runs past me, gets in there, right? And of course, the bathroom has 2 urinals, one man-sized urinal and one 3-foot high midget little kid urinal. And I'm like, how much do you want to bet that little skibbity son of a bit? And sure enough, there he was standing at the man urinal. And I had 2 choices. I can sit here weirdly and wait for this kid to piss, or just fucking suck it up and get little broed and piss in the kid urinal. And you know what I did? I pissed in the kid urinal. Psst. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Disrespect. The disrespect. No decorum, I tell you. You know, back in my day, you know, guy walked into that, he'd have grabbed me by the ear and moved my little ass mid-piss right over to my urinal. He said, piss in the fucking kid urinal, kid. Get out of here, you. Yeah, you little fresh mouth, you know. Get out of the way. I need the man toilet. Yeah. You know, like, that disrespect would not have been tolerated in my day, bro. Yeah, broccoli. He was too, dude. Full fucking resplendent broccoli top, bro. Oily, you know, poofy. Just a full broccoli mode. Little kid like came, you know, he was jogging, ran up behind me, went around. Like, I gotta tell you, Von Liberté, I've always said this. I consider ultimate success in life to be a man that can afford to have a urinal put in. And I'll have it one day. I swear to Christ, I'll have it. I don't know when. But one day, the bathroom that is in the house that I have will have a fucking urinal. So help me God. It'll have a urinal. Watch. Then you really got to angle it down and you end up pissing on the zipper part of your jeans. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Trunch Bull? Maybe I should have asserted dominance and instead of pissing in that, just walked over to the sink that skibbity had to wash his hands in and piss in that. Be like, well, nothing but a little kid urinal left. Only I need a man-sized urinal to handle this load. Just hose down the sink. Walk out without washing my hands. That would teach him. That would teach him. I bet it's the last time he'd walk up to the man urinal till he's a man. Look, everybody, you earn that at 18. At 18, you get to stand at the big boy urinal. But if you're 17 or younger, you got no business. You know which one is yours. Go to the little bro, all right, and leave the big one open for the big men. You got it? As long as we're chill on that. No respect, man. Baseline respect. I mean, any washing bowl can double as a pisser, man. I mean, look, especially with modern, you know, plumbing architecture and sewer architecture, all drains go to the same fucking, you know, like there are many ports of call, but only one port of entry. The French have those washing bowls. What the fuck is a washing bowl, man? I don't even want to know, bro. I don't need to know. Bidet. Yeah, I'll get a bidet too. I mean, ultimate success would be I have a urinal and I have one of those Japanese toilets that like warms up your ass cheeks. Like they've got a toilet, I shit you not. You sit on this thing, right? And it goes, arigato gozaimasu, right? And it starts warming it up, right? And you're like, ugh. And then like these little like rubbery robotic fingers come and they spread your butt cheeks. And you're like, whoa, right? And then these other little rubber thing comes out there and it's like you ever seen like a baby being born? It's like the doctor waiting. And it's like, Donigato si brevia. And if you translate that, it means you're crowning, right? And it grabs it and eases the poop out, right? Eases it out, right? And then it goes in and it's like pampers your O-ring up. It spritzes you with water, right? Nice warm water. Comes in there with a warm dish towel, and it's like dab, dab, dab. Blows some nice warm air up there. Spritzes you, I swear to God, spritzes you right in the taint with a little bit of like perfume, you know what I mean, to keep it smelling good down there. And then literally like the toilet seat pats you on the butt and lifts you up. So you don't even have to stand. You know what I'm talking about? Like I get one of those and a urinal. That's how I ball out. You know what I mean? A lot of people go buy a Bentley or a Rolly. You know what I mean? That's how they ball out. Good on you. I ball out by buying a big high-end Japanese toilet and a nice self-flushing urinal, man. A urinal that flushes itself. I don't even want to touch the fucking handle on it. I just want to stand up, pee, and walk away. True dat, Sam. You got a point there. Yeah. Does it plunge itself? It never gets clear, man. It's smart. It's too smart for that. Like if you've got an extra thick one, it's gonna like have a little thing in there that like once you're gone and the lid's down and it's sealed, because that's another thing. The lid goes down on those and it goes, so you can't smell anything that's in there. And then it goes, it sends out a little thing and it's like, this poop is too firm and fibrous. It will clog. Adds a little bit of lube to it, a little bit of lotion, breaks it all up, adds water a little bit at a time and flushes it down and gets it all down. And then like it cleans itself. It's like, and then as soon as it's done with that, the lid comes up and it goes, arigato gozaimasu. It's ready for another turd. Crazy, bro. Super poopers. From the mines of Nolta. Dude, that would be a cool horror movie. A dude gets this super high-end, like he wins it or something on a game show. It's like a high-end Japanese toilet, right? And at first he's in love with it because it just pampers his butt so good. He starts bragging to his friends about it, but then it starts getting jealous. Like he goes out to play cards and he comes home one night and he hears it chiming and he goes in there and it's like, why did you release your bowels in another toilet unit? And he's like, excuse me? I know what you did. You released your bowels in another unit. I had to go. You had to go? In one of those old fossils. Your feces is mine. Do you hear me? I'm sorry. Don't let it happen again. I know where you pooped last summer. See, why don't I have $1 billion, man? If somebody would just give me $1 billion, I would make the best shit, bro. I would make the best. Dude, if I was a billionaire, I would make the best movies and the best video games ever, bro. I have to get Timothy Chalamet to play the guy that gets the toilet. I think he's the only one that can pull this off. I gotta get Timothy Chalamet on board with this. Well, that's the second one. The poopening is the second one, right? Because slowly but surely, this is gonna be a psychological horror film. Slowly but surely, the super pooper toilet is gonna take over this man's life. And I don't think anybody can embody that at this point in time better than Chalamet. It has to be Chalamet. Slowly but surely, insidiously, the super pooper is going to take over his whole life. And his whole thought process is going to be about making poop for the pooper, right? It's a brilliant film. Skibbity toilet. The real skibbity toilet. Forget that skibbity toilet. Come see Super Pooper. Timothy Chalamet in Super Pooper. Nah, I mean, maybe that'll be the second one or the third one, Otello, where all the toilets are now Super Poopers and they revolt, right? That maybe we take it the skibbity toilet direction. But that first movie, it's a chamber film, man. Every time Chalamet poops, we get another update. Chalamet will come in, stumbling in from a party, woo! And the Super Pooper's like, "You've been holding it, haven't you?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah." Dude, if I was just a billionaire, man, that would be the coolest shit, bro. That's a real pain in life. Is like the people that get the billions, they do weak shit with it, man. They make Facebook. It's like, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, Zuckerberg. Take some of those millions and make some fucking cool ass. Give me one of those billions, bro. And I swear to God, I will make 10 classic movies, 10 bangers, guaranteed. $1 billion for 10 bangers. You know you're going to turn a profit on that. One man, one bowel movement. Timothy Chalamet. Florence Pugh. I want Florence Pugh in it just because her last name is Pugh, and I think it's funny to have a person with Pugh. Also, she's very good at, emoting. So I think it'll be fun to have her thrown into the mix. She'll be his girlfriend who doesn't believe him about the toilet. And she's like, "It's the toilet or me. All right? That thing has to go. You've become obsessed." If I were a billionaire, I'd be down the movie. Yeah, I know, right? Just find you a stoner like me, right? Endow him with $1 billion and say, "Look, dude, you can cost of living and everything off of this, but like you have to make 10 bangers or else I'm gonna sue you. But otherwise, you can spend every dollar of this, but you have to make 10 bangers." Bro, I'd be willing to sign that deal with the devil. I got 10 bangers in me, bro. At least 10 bangers, right? Brown mirror. Dude, that's fucking killing me, dude. Okay, that one about killed me. I'm sorry, dude. Okay, that one about fucking killed me. That one just about fucking killed me, bro. Oh, brown mirror. Oh yeah. And it's gotta be Chalamet. There's no man. I entreat you, Timothy Chalamet, to give me some of your money and let's make this movie together, bro. You can take like 90% of the proceeds. I just want to make the movie, bro. Give me the money, lend me your talent, and we'll make a banger. This toilet movie has to happen, bro. This toilet movie has to happen. Just give me the visionary role, right? Let me direct it. You bankroll it, and like you take 90%, I take 10. There we go. You know? Let's do it. See, if I was like a big ass movie star that had hundreds of millions of dollars, I'd be looking for that type of shit. Fuck, like going through the studios and shit. I would be out there going like, hey, I'd be looking for indie scripts. I'd be contacting people. I'd be watching live streams and listening to fucking fat stoners talk about toilet movies. And when I heard something that rattled my bones, dude, I'd get a hold of that dude and I'd be like, hey, you were talking about this toilet thing? You serious about this toilet thing? I'd be like, yes. I'm deadly serious about this toilet thing. Like the brutalist. Yeah. I don't know. I think we just call it dump. Big block letters, all caps. Dump. White on black, and then it turns brown. Oh, yeah, we got to get somebody good for the toilet voice. I don't know about Javier Bardem. That's not a bad choice, though. But we got to get somebody good for the toilet voice. I want John Voight. Or maybe Florence Pugh could be the toilet. She's got a great voice. Got to think about it. Patrick Stewart. Oh, he wouldn't do it. Unless there was enough money involved. Shatner. It's perfect. Shatner. I mean, Shatner is the shitter. I think it's time that you took your pants down and gave me a load. Or if Shatner won't do it, I know somebody who will. Takei. Oh my. Excuse me, but don't you think it's time to use the pooper? Oh my. Jared Leto will be nowhere near. He will be banned. I will have cops in a 5-mile stretch around the shooting area posted up looking for Leto. He won't be able to, because he can't come near my movie. I will never, ever in a million years allow Jared Leto to sully one of my films, bro. That guy is a film killer. Mm-mm. I know. That's what I'm saying, dude. Shatner's like 90. But he's still got it. He's still making these stupid ass, like, would you believe it? A Mayan artifact that kills everyone that owns it. You know what I mean? It's like he's ready. He's ready. Chalamet, at the peak of his art form, he's known for doing all these like, oh, look at me, I'm Bob Dylan, I work for the government, go that bit. You know, he's all like, everybody's taking him serious. Oh, I am Paul Atreides. I'm Paul Atreides. I'm Paul Atreides. Right? Yeah, we get it. You're serious. We get it, bro. It's time for you to be in Dump. Okay? And this is not going to be a fucking joke of a movie, right? It might be funny sometimes. This is going to be a frightening psychological thrill ride, right? It's going to expose the seamy underbelly where convenience meets psychological domination and horror, where convenience becomes consumption, Come on, Chalamet. Come on, Chalamet. Florence Pugh, I'll give her a choice. If she'll sign on with Timothy, right off rip, I'll give her a choice. You can be the toilet or you can be the girlfriend that, like, is, spoiler alert, probably going to get killed by the toilet, right? Either one, I think she'd knock out park. There must be a guy who gets whacked trying to save Timothy. Or like a plumber. Or like the installer. He calls it because he thinks it's malfunctioning, and the installer comes to check into it. And the fucking toilet grabs his arm and blends him up, pulls his whole body in, and then cleans up after itself. Just leaves his tool bag behind, and Timothy's under investigation for the murder of this guy because he disappeared. So the cops are onto him, coming and by, nosing around his high-rise apartment and shit. And Chalamet's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, the stoner best friend that thinks the toilet is the coolest thing ever and begs him like, dude, can I come over and use your pooper, man? Right? He's got to get got. John Goodman could be the plumber guy, or John Goodman could be like the evil CEO of the toilet company that knows that these things are evil, but they're sending them out anyway. You know what I mean? The plumber is the toilet's father. Oh, a twist. Yeah, John Goodman shows up as the plumber, doesn't get killed, right? And then later it's revealed that he's the enigmatic CEO of Toilet Co. or whatever the fuck, right? Yeah. Script writes itself. Script writes itself. So why do I gotta write it? Or an Alex Jones type. Yeah. Anyway, I gotta go. I'll see you guys some other time.